light body is a concept that for many years spiritual people walk around in with a concept that says, oh, someday we're going to have the light body. But for the most part, it was a concept, something that's going to happen someday, and it didn't have any personal alignment. One of the reasons is it was conceptual. It wasn't visceral. It wasn't physical. And the reason is all the parts and the pieces of it have to be evolved. It's not something where somebody anoints you and you go poof into a ball of light. So this light body starts as we play with it in mastering alchemy. And the whole purpose of mastering alchemy, let me just set that in context of the question, is Metatron said to me one time, there's a path that has never, ever been walked. And we would like to invite you to walk this as a teacher. He said, this path will allow you to step into your evolution more smoothly, your own ascension. This path will allow you to hold the door open for all of mass consciousness to step into that fifth dimension. And this path will allow you to assist the elementals and the earth to rise back to its fully Christed state as a 12th dimensional being. Would you like to play? And so that's the foundation of mastering alchemy. So this process of moving to this establishment of crystallizing the molecular structure of the physical body, starting point, starts from the standpoint of you can't take your baggage with you on this journey. So where I've defined paradox in the fourth dimensional configuration, the ability to start to choose, to start to recognize your third dimensional history as simply history, not as baggage, not as I was bad, I did wrong, I'm not okay. You can't be not okay. So you can't take all the baggage that says I'm not okay with you. So in that process, when the fall of consciousness occurred, the mental and emotional body were separated. We treat them as generally two bodies in reference, but they are one body. So as you begin to recognize numbers of things, there's many layers to think from. You don't just think from this rational mind. You move into different layers of it. When you understand the layers of thought, and you can intentionally put your attention in a chosen layer and then think, because you got different reasons for different layers. But when you start to play in that fourth, fifth, sixth layer of thought, where you can just ponder without engaging, or where you can observe without engaging thinking as words, you start to become conscious of lots of aspects of you and of these higher realms. It's almost like you've been walking, looking down all your life, and for the first time you get to look up. And when you look up, there's much there. So by beginning to choose the creation of a different platform to experience your physicalness in this third, fourth dimensional reality, the externalness of the world around you, which is kind of crumbling around you, and recognizing that's not me, that's theater. I'm okay. In that place, you begin to change the vibrations of your essence. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. So here, choose anger, rage, resentment, depression, happy, enthusiastic laughter. Which feels better? So you're going to choose this space. But what happens when you choose it? You know that feeling. You begin to, I like me. You begin to be happy. You begin to simply be pleased with yourself. How does that feel? It's much more relaxed. It's less dramatic. It's less pull. The body's much more at ease. So when you can begin to build these platforms of words, simple words, electrical frequencies, words, sound templates, words, all those words are what make you up. So how do you wish to present yourself if the Creator invited you to lunch today? Elegant, certain, capable, gracious, commanding of my presence, happy. Those aren't words from here. I say to you, have you ever been happy? Oh yeah, I've been happy. It's not a question. It's a feeling. Emotions are magnetic. So what if you could, I say to you, do you know what certainty feels like? And many people say, oh yeah, but if I said to you, close your eyes, sit back, take a breath, and what does certainty feel like? All of a sudden you see this happen in the body. And it's not a physical experience only. There's a sensation, there's a command, there is an alignment. This is who I am, begins to build. Does that make any sense? So as you begin to build this light body, and you begin to play with words and platforms, and I make this little symbol of a triangle because the triangle is the fundamental geometry of all the geometry. And so you start to build the sense of yourself as feelings. You begin to have different thoughts. But when you play in that aspect of the layers of thought, you can pick a word like happy and have no emotion. I'll say to you in a lot of the work we do, think happy, and then choose a vibration of happy to match that thought. And you instantly go, happy. There it is, because that's your habit. But if I said, now choose happy, and now choose an emotion that is really, really happy, bigger smile happy, you will choose a vibration that's elevated, and you will go, yeah, this is great, happy. That's a skill, to be able to choose a thought and apply an emotion in that capacity. Does that make any sense? So as you begin to do that, that mental and emotional body begins to be one. It's at this point where you begin to recognize that the numbers of things, one of the primary things is the reconfiguration of the chakra system to play in this elevated state of unified field of consciousness. But reconfiguring the chakra systems into what's called the triads, where you basically use the fourth chakra, the fifth chakra, the thymus center, the sacred heart, differently. You use the sixth chakra, the pineal center, the medulla oblongata in the back of the brain, really important, which is dormant, differently. And you use the eighth chakra, the seventh chakra, the eighth chakra, and the soul star. And you begin to create a unified field of consciousness where the consciousness is not compressed. You begin to know yourself. It's in that place that you start to do amazing things. You start to utilize the three chakras in the body differently. You begin to open what's called the Eye of Horus, but it's in the brain. And you turn on aspects of the brain. You begin to use the 8th, 9th, and 10th chakra very precisely. This is where the universal mind lives. This is where the realms of the lords of light and the archangelic realm live. You begin to know them consciously. You begin to do other aspects of changing the electrical frequencies. You change the neuron messaging in the brain, so you change the fluids and the secretions in the bodies. You elevate the ATP so that the energy network of the body begins to be on all the time at well-being. You begin to do something you get to a point where you start to play with 7 layers of the light body. You alter the meridian system. You alter the axonal lines and the axial spin points that allow you to enter into these realms of consciousness. You build something that's called the Ark of the Covenant. It is a massive electromagnetic doming around the head that allows you to begin to use the energetics of what's called undifferentiated light of the Creator as a creator in the body. In the pineal gland, there's a capacity to turn the flame on in the pineal gland. It's in that flame that you begin to use the flame of the heart, the living light of the Creator, and you bring it into that pineal center. That 6th, 7th dimension become very available, and you begin to access the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th at some point. Completely different experiences, nothing that relates to the physicalness of the body. But the key is you are a unique reflection of the Creator, reflecting back to the Creator creation. And you are part of that collective aspect of all that is. simultaneously. So I'll say to you what Metatron said to me. Would you like to play?